Welcome back, everyone, to Vox Markets. My name is Paul Hill. I'm delighted again to be able to speak to CEO Sandy Chadha of Supreme, a leading brand owner, licensor, and distributor of FMCG products across vaping, sports nutrition, batteries, lighting, soft drinks, and as of tomorrow, this morning, tea. So, welcome, Sandy.
Thank you. Yeah, now we're in the hot beverages market.
Yeah, well, big congrats on the £10.2 million acquisition of Typhoo Tea from the administrators. Maybe we could start there. I suppose you could just give us a bit of colour on what's attracted you to the sort of like the hot drinks market, and also a bit of detail on Typhoo Tea itself.
So I've always said that, Supreme is a fast-moving consumer goods, and our criteria is to buy products that have a strong brand name. Either we license them or we own them. And obviously, in this case, it's a tier one brand, and we own this brand. So that's one attraction. All our customers, their whole customer portfolio, I'd say 95% we know and dealing with. However, there's a lot of other customers that are not selling the product at the moment that we will apply. And also it fits perfectly into our platform that I always talk about, our
Mm.
vertically integrated platform. So it is many reasons why, and people wanted us to look at diversifying from vaping. This is a perfect example of that. In 4 days, I think we did this deal in 4 days, very quickly.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, it certainly does seem top level for the Supreme's going to get the ooh out of Typhoo. So we're looking forward to that. I suppose you could just give us a bit of color again on the integration plan, because obviously it's happened quite quickly, and how you're sort of like, I know you can't, it's early days, so you don't know the exact details, but just sort of like sort of direction of travel.
Yeah, I think, look, I mean, we're going to still outsource the products. We're going to integrate it into our Supreme. Supreme now will be supplying into our customer base. A lot of this is to be worked out in the next 7 days, but there will be a reduction in overhead, significant reduction in overheads. Obviously, we're not carrying any debt. We're
Mhm.
not taking on any liabilities. We are sort of pick and choose where we have to evolve the brand over the next few months, the year. I think that the actual first step is to sort of stabilize the business, get continuity of supply to customers, making sure the sourcing is all opened up, and then move on to the next stage, which is phase two, which will be about the brand and the marketing and the advertising and the message going forward.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're doing it pretty quick, isn't it? Because I did read it, and it's going to be adjusted earnings accretive in the first year. So I don't suppose you could just talk through that, because you mentioned in the announcement that you're looking for sort of like steady state 30% gross margins. What sort of like EBIT margins would that go to? And, ultimately, and sort of like over what sort of timescales?
Yes, I said, like, we've done the deal in 4 days. I've not done a lot of
Yeah. Okay.
number. It's so hard for me to say. That's why we've not given any guidance.
Yeah.
Um, I know when we have full year results, which will be next April, I will be able to update you a lot more. It's not fudging the question at this stage. I
Yeah. Sure.
don't know.
And will there be any sort of like international angle? Because obviously it's a heritage UK, beloved UK brand that, Typhoon tea drinkers are going to drink forever. They love it. And, that's what happens with tea brands. But internationally wise, there are definitely sort of like niche opportunities, maybe to expat communities that, obviously they're going to be pretty price insensitive, but also cool chilled teas and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at India, for example, probably the biggest tea drinking nation in the world, there's somebody there that's already reached out to me to license the brand, which has been refused in the past. Which is, I've had so many reach outs from so many people in so many countries to say, by the way, I can do this in this country. By the way, I can do this in this country. We're obviously over time, we're going to explore those. We're going to first, let's say, stabilize the business, stabilize the product range,
Yeah.
stabilize the supply chain. After we've stabilized everything, which will take a few months, we'll then look at, right, okay, now where's our international presence? Which countries do we start? We have the trademark registered pretty much every country in the world. It is a
Mm.
worldwide mark. Typhoo.com is a worldwide brand name. You talk about iced tea, it's phenomenal business in America, this iced tea business. I mean, Lipton do incredible numbers. I think with the amount of strong flavor houses we deal with already, and the brand, and putting it in clearly drinks to make a whole range of
Mm.
iced teas is something that we can consider, but not straight away. It's got to be Everything else has to be done first. And then that could be an exploration. It may we end up explore it and don't do it, but we will definitely explore brand extension.
Yeah. I think there'll be big demand, particularly in the hotter countries, actually, because
Yes.
the southern states in the US love iced tea, as you know,
Yeah.
and that's because it's quite hot and it's humid and it's refreshing. So if there's similar climates elsewhere, then yeah,
Yeah,
it,
no, absolutely. And if you think now the younger generation are preferring things like
mm,
iced tea, to be fair. So yeah, I think the opportunities are there.
yeah. And I guess you know you might have a sort of like a I don't know an energy one like I don't know Supreme Typhoo Tea.
Paul, you want to go work with me, my friend? You have some good ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. What about just finally then, so on the funding, I mean, obviously you're in net cash position at the half year, et cetera. I guess it's just straight out your RCF.
Yeah, not even the RCF. I think we draw down some from this invoice.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we've touched the RCF, to be
Oh,
fair.
okay.
So yeah, no, look, it's not a lot of money. So don't remember with the 10.2 million, we inherited 6 million of debtor book. Sorry,
Mhm.
6 million of stock and 2 million of debtor book. So there's 8 million there of working capital back to us. So
Yeah.
take it as you wish, how you feel the price is, but we're happy and comfortable with what we paid for the business.
Good, yeah. And I'd highlight or just urge all Supreme shareholders to go to their local store, buy some Thai food tea, test the product, and send some feedback to Sandy because if you've got any good ideas, I'm sure he'll sort of have a good look at them. Won't you, Sandy?
No, sure. I mean, obviously, do your own
Yeah.
research. I've been drinking mine right now, and
Yes.
it's pretty decent. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, massive congrats. Looks a lovely deal. And yeah, I'll be trying some Thai food teas pretty soon as well. So thanks very much.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Paul.